Hello everyone and welcome to the Marble Bowling Championships Part 2. Last time we saw some crazy bowling scores, including a spare from Team Cyan. What will we see today? Let's find out now. Let's look at the format for today. The 5 teams that didn't bowl their second frame in Part 1 will do so, and all the teams will bowl their final frame. Keep in mind that the top 6 will advance to the bracket rounds. So after today, we are going to say goodbye to 4 teams. Let's look at the crowd. You can see everyone is so excited to cheer on their favorite team. This is what the scoreboard looks like now, with Cyan atop the leaderboard, Red not far behind in second, and a 3-way tie for third. What will the remaining 5 teams do? Let's find out now. We're starting with Orange. They are currently tied for 6th with a total of 7 points. They left 6 pins and only got 1 of them out of it. That was very disappointing. They start off with, it almost was a giant split, but it turns into 9 pins. Leave a single pin, and Halloween does not convert. Halloween was way off from trying to make that pin. That was the pin that Team Cyan made. Anyways, that puts Orange in a really good position, getting past that 3-way tie. But now let's see what White can do. Currently they are tied for 7th because they haven't bowled their second frame yet. They start off with 7. That's not a bad shot. It was directly on. It just was a little off target. So it didn't hit that center. But what can Abstract do for Team White? Let's see, which way is the better way to go? It goes on the outside track. I think that's smart. Goes all the way to the edge, but wow! It curls back and gets the spare. Let's watch this again from Team White. Look at this first shot. You can see it was nice and straight, but it was all the way on the right side. You can see great pin action there. It just drove through the pins and barely left any standing. But watch as Abstract goes all the way to the left and then curls in right towards the center and nails it perfectly and converts the spare. That is only the second spare we've seen in this tournament so far. It's going to be hard for Yellow to top that performance, but they are in 8th, so they need something big right here. Goes to the left and tries the same technique that White did. Unfortunately, didn't get enough turns, so they get only 6 pins. They need a few pins if they want to get past that 3-way tie at 15. Getting 2 or 3 right now should be good. Oh, but they go way to the left and miss them all. That is such a disappointing score of 13, so they will remain in 8th place. Now, in 9th place, we have Team Black. Team Black had a solid 5 count from Starry Night, but Black Mamba completely missed all of the pins. They start with Black Mamba, and it's a strike. That is the first strike we have seen in this tournament, and it's from 9th place Team Black. Look at this. They don't go in the center. They go off to the left and then curl in, and look at that pin action. That was absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at the split screen. You can see how Black Mamba drove into the pins, whereas Cyan deflected. Keep in mind, this is Cyan's 9 count from his from the second frame that he bowled, that got only 9. It was just because Cyan was too far to the left and deflected that they didn't knock down all the pins. Great job by Black Mamba moving into 3rd place, but Team Lime struggles with Mint Chip getting a gutter ball on their first throw. Now Circus has to make up a lot of ground. Currently 9th place is Yellow with a total of 13. Which means that Lime needs to get a mark just to stay in contention to qualify. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh, but it deflects. Circus had a great shot down the yellow ramp, but it deflected and get only 8. Here are the scores so far. Cyan, White, and Black all have marks, and they are in the lead, but Red and Orange not far behind. The 3-way tie is currently on the cut line, and Yellow and Lime are trailing. So now we're moving on to the final frame. This is it. This frame will act as a 10th frame in normal bowling. So if you get a spare, you get 1 extra throw. And if you get a strike, you get 2 extra throws. And Cyan almost gets a strike, but leaves 1 standing. Very impressive since Cloudy Sky got 9, but they decided to switch strike balls. And I think it paid off. And Cyan gets the spare. They have 2 spares in a row. And since they have a spare, they will get 1 extra throw in the 10th frame. But in this case, it is a 3rd frame. Let's see, they're using Treasure Map once again. Oh, but they get only 6. They go a little bit to the right. And a final score of 43 puts them in first place. And that's going to be really hard to catch for the remaining teams. Next up is Team White. They had a great spare with Abstract. What can they do now with Jawbreaker? Jawbreaker goes all the way to the right and gets only 3. He was hanging on by a thread on the edge, curled back, and got only 3. That is not great pin count after a spare, because after a spare you want a lot of pins like 8 or 9 or even 10. But what? An Abstract gets only 3 as well. Oh, what a disappointing 10th frame for them. Or 3rd frame, if in this case. They will have 26. And now next up is Black. If you get in the top 2 in the bracket rounds, you get a first round bye. And then move all the way down to the final part in the championships. You know that these teams really want that. You can see as Team Black gets 8 and they get the spare. Wow, that was very impressive. They went all the way to the right side of the lane. And it went all the way to the left and got the spare. That was very amazing. What can Black do now on their fill ball? Oh, they get only 4. That is a weird break. You don't see that often. Watch this again. You can see Black Mamba goes on the left and comes through, but gets a major deflection, and none of the pins cooperate. So they get only 4 pins, and that gets them a total of 39. Very odd total. They probably could have beaten Cyan with a half-decent pin count. But anyways, they are second, and they are currently have that first round bye, unless Red wants to challenge. Red, as 18, has not gotten a mark, but has gotten a total of 9 pins every throw. Now they leave 6. This is a very difficult spare. Green has struggled, and Brown, oh, but they leave 1 once again, and will finish with a total of 27. Now, that puts them in 3rd place. Orange now currently in 5th. They need a really good showing because they are very close to the bubble, which is 6th place. Let's see, what do? They go on the yellow and go all the way to the left. They get only a total of 4. Halloween really has to bring it on for the team. Oh, and Halloween deflects. Goes straight down the middle, but gets only 4. Which brings Orange's total to 25. And that puts them in 5th place currently. You can see they are now in big danger with blue, brown, and green coming up. Let's see what they can do in this 10th frame. Or 3rd frame, I should say. Here goes blue. Currently, they are tied for 6th. Their spare ball, Jet Blue, has been really struggling for their team. So, let's see if they can bring it on in the 10th frame. Because they need a mark to pass Orange, and they get only 6. They leave the middle pin standing. Let's see if Jet Blue can turn their bad luck around and get this spare. They go on the short track, and they deflect, so they get 23. And that puts them at 6th place and on the bubble. Let's look at this on instant replay. You can see that they were coming in, but as the ball hits the pins, it deflected. So it did drive through to get the back 2 pins. So now we can see we have the top 6 listed as well, which you gotta pass at if you want to advance. Team Brown gets a strike. Wow, that was so unexpected. Team Brown has not been doing too well. Wow. And they get a strike, and that puts them in 3rd place. You can see he went all the way to the left and then curled back into the center. And that passes Team Blue, and Blue is eliminated from the competition. Oh, Brown needed another strike in a row to get into the top 2. That was very unlikely. Now all they can do is get a really good seeding, which they're doing a great job of because they are in 3rd place right now. Although they won't get a bye, they will face 6th seed, which is pretty good. And they get only 2, so that brings the total to 34. But that was a very good job being clutch at the end from Team Brown. And that puts them in 3rd place. That's a really good performance. Can Green top that? And now that puts Team Orange on the bubble at 24 pins. And Green leaves the same pin configuration like they've done the past 2 frames. I wonder if that's their strategy or just pure luck. Oh, and they get the spare, finally. They missed to the left both times, but they finally get that spare. And that puts them in 4th place, just behind Brown. They need all 10 pins if they want to pass Brown. What can they do? They go on the left, it's wide, and they leave the same pin configuration. 4 times in a row, which brings their total to 31, and that knocks orange out of the competition. So orange and blue have been eliminated, which puts Team White, who did very disappointing after their spare, falling from 2nd to now 6th. What can yellow do? Yellow gets 9! Yellow must spare, and they could have gotten a strike right there. But now all hope lies on Fruit Punch. Will Fruit Punch get the spare? They go on the outer track. Oh, and they miss. They curl a little bit to the right and brings their total to 22. That's 4 pins short. And now, our final bowler, Team Lime. They need a spare. They have had bad luck all tournament, but they still have a chance. Lime Mid-Chip has been very disappointing, although they've been very strong in marble racing. They've been absolutely atrocious in marble bowling, getting a 3 and a gutter and another 3 for their team. Lime needs to make this spare. It looks good. Oh no, they get 6, which gives them a total of 20 and last place. Once again, here are the final scores. Cyan and Black reign atop the leaderboard, and they will get a bye and move on to the championship part in this series. Brown, Green, Red, and White will face it off in the next part, when we have to say goodbye to Orange, Blue, Yellow, and Lime. This is a quick glance at the bracket. You can see Brown and White will face off, and then Green and Red, who will move on. Make sure to watch part 3 to find out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. Stay tuned for the bracket rounds. See ya!